Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's weekend. Is it President's Day? I hope you don't have to work today and you just spend the whole day watching our content. That would be a good use of your day. Just watch content and thinking, but what if I don't have enough? You can get more by clicking the join button below and get a bunch of bonus shows. Plenty of stuff to watch on your day off if you have it. We've talked a bunch since this happened about Trump sending out that video. That racist video depicting the Obamas as apes. Then there was this, no, it's just a joke. It came from a Lion King meme video where for some reason characters that are not a part of the Lion King, apes that are depicted just like normal in the weird explanation. Then you get to, okay, yeah, we're taking it down, but it was a staffer. But still, it's not really a mistake. But it was a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake. And now we have this, which is a headline. And I'll show you the reporting on it. Dead to me. Trump in profane, frothing rage at allies who slammed racist video, say CNN White House sources. So Trump, phase whatever of this controversy, is that despite them realizing they shouldn't have posted that, deleting it, blaming a staffer, but saying the staffer is not going to be punished. Obviously, they can't punish the person who posted it because it was Trump and it wasn't a staffer, but they won't admit that. Now you have him so angry that anyone was disloyal enough to go, yeah, apes being depicted as the former president and first lady who are black, that is racist. Saying that is too disloyal. Trump's going to swear you out, cuss you out, and say you're dead to me. So here's the reporting where they talk about who he chose to call up and scream at for daring to identify this as what it was.
According to new reporting, there may be repercussions for some Republican lawmakers, including South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, who's black. He called the Obama post, quote, the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. CNN's Elena Treen has the story, joins us now. So, Elena, you're reporting that the president has talked about consequences for Republicans who push back on the post. Is it clear what that means?
Not necessarily, but we have a good idea, Anderson, from what we've even heard the president say this week when we saw 6 Republicans break with him on a different issue on his tariffs on Canada. He said that they would likely face primaries and would suffer consequences in the elections. But
just the quickest pause to request that you click the subscribe button, the simplest, easiest, freest way, completely free, to support the work that we do. Right below the video, click that subscribe button. Back to the video.
Look, from what I was told from multiple sources who were with the president or had been hearing about these comments last weekend when he was at Mar-a-Lago, is he was specifically focused on 2 lawmakers. He had railed against a lot of them, but Tim Scott in particular really got under his skin that he had spoken out publicly about that post. The president telling his allies essentially that he felt Tim Scott should have reached out privately, given they have a close relationship, that it was really Scott's post calling it racist that he felt made the entire story blow up. I will say from another conversation I had with us.
Just to be clear, there's never been a story ever in the United States, ever from the beginning of time, that was blown up or made viral by Tim Scott. Not a thing. Never happened before. This was already extremely viral because the president of the United States posted what he posted. That's why it was viral. It was going to be viral whether Tim Scott said this was bad or not.
Source, they said that Tim Scott had actually privately reached out to the president first before he had posted that criticism of the post, but then didn't reach him. And so he went ahead and published it on social media. Now, the president also had pretty strong words, I was told even stronger language, for Alabama Senator Katie Britt, who had also spoken out about this. He had used a lot of expletives, I was told, when talking about
expletives. Yeah, for sure. A lot of them. Many.
Her saying, she had a lack of loyalty in doing that, and also said that she was dead to him. So very, very much anger.
Okay, he's somehow extremely authoritarian and dangerous and insane and like a teenager. You're dead to me. Who says that? You're dead to me, Katie. So he's calling people, he's screaming at them, you're dead to me. He's doing expletives all over the place, excreting expletives at anyone who this is cult behavior. That's what this is. Obviously, if you're the president and you post something like that, you should expect that even people on your political side will call it out for what it was. And that's what happened. Now, what I was hoping was that there would be audio of this phone call between Trump and Katie Britt. And Katie Britt is the senator that you're seeing on screen here, and that she would have responded to him saying, "You're dead to me," by saying this.
Refused to take responsibility for his own actions. Mr. President, enough is enough.
Y'all remember that? The State of the Union response? Oh, what a time.
May God bless you, and may God continue to bless these United States of America.
You're dead to me, Mr. President. Enough is enough. But God bless you. That's what I hope the phone call was like. You do have Obama himself now on friend of the show, Brian Tyler Cohen's program, responding to this directly.
Just days ago, Donald Trump put a picture of your face on an ape's body. And so again, this is kind of, we've seen the de-evolution of the discourse. How do we come back from a place that we have fallen into?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to recognize that the majority of the American people find this behavior deeply troubling. It is true that it gets attention. It's true that it's a distraction. But, as I'm traveling around the country, as you're traveling around the country, you meet people. They still believe in decency, courtesy, kindness. And there's this sort of clown show that's happening in social media and on television. And what is true is that there doesn't seem to be any shame about this among people who used to feel like you had to have some sort of decorum and a sense of propriety and respect for the office, right? So that's been lost. But the reason I point out that I don't think the majority of the American people approve of this is because ultimately the answer is going to come from the American people. And we just saw this in Minnesota, in Minneapolis.
So, yes, I agree. Anytime I hear him in interviews or speeches, it kind of makes me sad, because this wasn't that long ago where there were still so many extremely substantive issues and crises and areas of criticism and ways that the system has failed Americans and all of that. But at least there wasn't a constant panic that whenever you look to the most powerful person on the planet, they're going to just be spouting off insane nonsense all the time and making you feel like, wait, who's really in charge? Like, say what you will. If you have an issue with one of Obama's policies, okay. But if you see him go up and brief the people on an issue, you'd be like, all right, someone's in control here, and I feel okay about it. If something happens, I feel good about some generals and some cabinet officials and experts are going to surround Obama, and then he's going to make a decision, and then he's going to come out and say, America, rah, 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 and lay it out for us. Whereas now with Trump, you kind of look around and go, so who's in charge here? Who's making decisions about the big stuff? If some sort of war directed with the U.S. were to break out, or a nuke was heading our way, or a cyber attack, is it really him who's going to have to make the decision? That makes me afraid. But another reason I get sad is I don't know if I like to believe, and I think I believe, but sometimes I don't know if I believe that it's true enough Americans don't want this. Clearly, polling shows they don't. But the fact that Trump won twice, it's not like he just revealed this part of his character to be who he is. We've known it from the beginning, and he was elected twice. Never with a majority. Once he lost the popular vote, other time he won the popular vote with a plurality. So never a majority, and I guess Obama used the majority. So yes, it's true that to give you hope in the face of the degradation of our principles of decency in politics is that potentially enough Americans don't believe that. If they could just be mobilized, we could end this era. And that does seem to be absolutely true. You also have this from Obama.
The rogue behavior of agents of the federal government is deeply concerning, and dangerous. The sort of behavior that in the past we've seen in authoritarian countries and we've seen in dictatorships, but we have not seen in America.
Absolutely correct. And it's interesting, from him specifically, it's notable to hear him speaking about the immigration enforcement and violations relating to it, because he was known for very severe immigration enforcement, a lot of deportations. Like, this wasn't a anyone comes in and anyone can stay type of president. And you can look back at some of his speeches on that topic, and he has a very clear and pretty intense tone about the subject, while also acknowledging the path that there should be to legal status, the logistical ways to address the issue that aren't just inhumanely grabbing people. But sometimes MAGA will cite his past remarks really emphasizing the need for immigration enforcement as a way to say that Democrats are hypocritical for being outraged about what Trump's doing. But actually, I think when you hear from him, it emphasizes so clearly why there should be outrage about what Trump is doing, because he demonstrated that even if you want pretty severe immigration enforcement policies, it does not have to be through the means that the Trump administration is utilizing. It's not masked men roaming around and ripping people out of their cars and going door to door and violating people's due process and grabbing up random workers with no reason, etc. And so while they think it's a contradiction, it actually is an exemplification of the point that we're trying to make, which is, yes, you can still do immigration enforcement and have a rational immigration policy, but do so humanely and without militarizing the streets of America.